Hey everyone, this is the first video I've ever uploaded for Battle Play onto YouTube, and therefore it is low budget in every sense of the word. I am here in my studio, posh studio, also known as my garage. That's where we all start, right? In garages. Well, anyways, this is a bit of a test. I just wanted to see what I could do from a perspective of a recording, and talk a little bit about some games. Games that I love to play and that I've had sitting around for a long time. In this case, Paratrooper, ASL Module number 2 from Avalon Hill. This is the original. Recently, Multiman Publishing has put out Yanks. They reprinted Yanks. And as part of Yanks reprint, they included some of the materials from Paratrooper, pretty much in its entirety, including some of the boards and scenarios, and I'm just going to walk through that and, as I practice doing a video here, show you what Avalon Hill did with this and way back in the day, and what Multiman Publishing has done recently with the reprints. So what we have here is the box for Paratrooper, with the classic Avalon Hill logo and ASL badge. I love looking at old games, sometimes because of the treasures you find in them. This copy of Paratrooper has never been punched. It's been sitting around my shelf for a long time. I bought it a while back. I can't even remember when. I know way before Multiman reprinted Yanks. And I put it on my shelf, intending to get to it. Played a lot of starter kit stuff in the meantime, but never actually pulled this puppy out. Well, when I did, I looked inside. It's effectively like the shrink just got pulled off. We still had all of the original materials Avalon Hill published with the game, like the General advertisement for the General, the Game Players magazine, straight from them, and it's in like pristine condition too, which is pretty cool for something that's I don't know, 30 years old now. The famous Do a Friend a Favor cards, I remember as a kid seeing these along with the blue everything you wanted to know about war games but were afraid to ask books, which as a small kid, when I opened up these games, I did start playing when I was young, I was like, oh, is there something I shouldn't be reading in here? The way that was worded, I wondered. But this is the Do a Friend a Favor. Basically add them to the Avalon Hill Game Company mailing list. And maligned in any ways, the games and parts priceless here for July 1st, 1986, effective. At that point, Victory Games kind of had partnered with Avalon Hill by 86. And there's a bunch of fun stuff in here, looking through this. Games that I've never owned, but I have seen here and there. Of course, there's our ASL stuff. I played Squad Leader as a kid and loved it. So I was looking forward to getting into ASL, but by 1985 I was on to other things, college and such, and I just never had a chance till I picked it up later. There's our Paratrooper right there, $15. You can get Mapboard 24 for $4. Well, some interesting stuff in here. Victory Games had a funny advertisement. Let's see if I can find that thing. I saw it when I had opened it up a little while ago. But this will date this thing. Here you go. Dr. Ruth Westheimer's terrific Game of Good Sex. Also on microcomputer. Go dig that. I think this is a Victory Games publication. I see the VG logo there. So I guess Avalon Hill maybe said, hey, Victory Games, you you go put this out, and if it flops, then we can disassociate ourselves with it. So that was fun. So onto the game. So what we have here is the scenario cards. These are the originals. This is Defiance on Hill 30, Scenario 11. You can see down here it's stamped with 86 Avalon Hill Game Company. And these things were printed just like the old Squad Leader scenarios, kind of with a gummy up here, gummy tape, where they were put together with glue. And you can see that that these things came in a little pack here. Now, let me pull off a copy of Scenario 11 from our friends at MMP, and you can see that, you know, they've stuck to the kind of classic look, same kind of art there, with victory conditions, and they changed the, looks like they got the balance is about the same. I think that was kind of cool that, you know, there's not much change there. That did put up here that the scenario has been updated from its original version. All of these are by the way, Don Greenwood. I think the whole pack was Don Greenwood's. So let's look at the boards. The boards in 1986 here were, of course, on the hard back, and they were the old style boards, not like, I guess, what you call the starter kit today. One interesting thing is this is board 24, and you can see, well, sorry for the glare, you can see this thing is, I mean, the colors really kind of pop. If you take out the MMP reprint of Yanks, board 24, let's take a look at it here. You can see there's a little bit more matte, I guess, or a little bit less bright of colors for the terrain. There you can see, like, you know, look at the wheat fields there up at the top, and the color of the roads. I know I like the starter kit style boards better to play with. I just like the thinness. I mean, you can put your plastic over it or your other stuff. I do like, and the colors are just so stunning on the old boards, so bright, and maybe it's a little bit too much, actually, because you can see the contrast between, let's look at the boards again, the contrast between the woods and, you know, the open ground here is a little bit harder to see. I don't know, maybe not, maybe it's just me. I find it interesting that they've changed the houses here on that hex. They kind of made one smaller. Not sure why they did that, but they did. Architecturally, they also did it here too. Maybe this made it look a little bit better. So that's the kind of board 24. That's what the original Paratrooper board looked like. On to the counters. The counters. Here's we are. This is they're all unpunched. I mean, like I said, I don't think no one ever actually played this or did anything other than take the shrink off and then eventually sell it to me. All the way from 86. But you can see here, I mean, everything's pretty much the same in Squad Leader. It still has the same numbers and whatnot. Of course, the counter punching and the technology, MMP has obviously improved that quite a bit over the years since Avalon Hill was doing it, and Monarch, their printing firm. You can see, if you look here, see if I can get it in. You know, you have the classic die cutting issues. You have some of them have the little fuzzy pieces in the center, like that. So even if you clip, you still got a little, I don't know, little fuzzy thing hanging out there on you. You know, here, let's look at, just compare some of those counters from Yanks, 2016 Yanks, and you can see this, just the crispness of the cutting. You don't have to worry, there's not a single one of those little center little fuzzies that will come out in this, and as soon as you punch these and you if you're a corner clipper or a corner rounder, you won't have anything. You'll just have a perfectly smooth counter. So let's see what else we got in here. More counters, of course, the second sheet with some of the 5/8 on it. Next board, 10. Similar, bright colors, thicker. And then you had section K for the rules. Punched, 3 holes, so you could put it in the old rules binder. The Squad Leader Training Manual, which I gotta say I'm not really familiar with what's in here, but it looks like it's a bit of training. Day 1, marching, 10 hut. Insomuch as there are 12 of you clowns, you will be collectively referred to as a squad. There you are. And it looks like it kind of takes you tongue-in-cheek through the process here of the rules, because they refer to, again, 10 hut. So far, you clowns have barely worked up a sweat. Well, that is about to change. At ease, and they go through some more rules here. I really haven't looked through all of these yet, but I found it kind of entertaining the way they did this this training section, and taking you to the rifle range on day 3. So that's it. That's Squad Leader, Advanced Squad Leader Paratrooper from Avalon Hill, as it was packed way back in 1986. And I hope you found this at least a little bit entertaining, and I hope my test has gone pretty well. So I'll upload this to YouTube and see what we can do in the future. Maybe it's equivalent to even a little bit more interesting than this one. I love the game. I love the theme, the rules. Advanced Squad Leader lives.